present for the inaugural address.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Through Patreon, and guess what? Well, at that point, YouTube is out of the picture. Pfft, gone. Of course, I'm sure there's going to be other censorship means in the future at some point if these commies keep in charge, but we got to put that, because what we're trying to do is recruit people to the world of prepping and patriotism and thinking for yourself. That's what YouTube is about, is getting the word out there and having people be able to come to it and find it. So we got to keep it clean. We got to not violate the terms of service, not violate their community guidelines. Oh, that's right up there with the 10 Commandments and the Bible and, the terms of service. Folks, you should see it. It is literally, and I am not shitting you, pages on pages, literally pages of shit you can't say, topics you can't touch. So we're allowed satire. So here we are. I have to do a disclaimer and say, this is all satire. It's humor. It's pointing out their stupidity, their hypocrisy, their lies, and making jokes about it. It's all satire. Anyways, get this, folks. In the United Kingdom, they are not giving up on cerveza bug. Oh, we're going to talk about some shit now. And by the way, we're back to the afternoon monologue, followed up by the Q&A live with you guys. There's going to be times, of course, where we can't make it. We can't get there. I'm being detained for some reason, one reason or another, or Jolene is dealing with some stuff. But for the most part, Monday through Friday, live Q&A with you guys. And I need you, folks. I need everyone on YouTube to come over and join us on Patreon and make that even better. But get this, folks. In the UK, they're not giving up. As stated, they're threatening lockdowns. And get this. These morons are going to send cerveza bug teams door to door to target the unjuicinated, quote, stragglers. If you haven't managed to find your way in, it's probably because you just don't know where to go. Or maybe you didn't hear that there's an actual vaccine. You didn't hear that? Really? And so you're just a straggler. That's all. That's all you are. You're just a straggler. You aren't thinking for yourself. No. You're a straggler. You're a straggler. Hey, folks, this is what they said. This is what they said. The mood in the country is hardening against people who refuse to be Jim Jones juicinated. I am all in favor of free choice, but there's always that caveat. They're like, I'm a really good person, but for this one little thing, we're just going to go over the line. But, I'm all in favor of free choice, but there comes a point where you cannot lock up 90% of the country who are fully juicinated for the 10% who refuse to be. I don't think in England it's 90% are fully Jim Jones juicinated. I don't think so. I don't think it's that high, even though I bet it's pretty high. And there's certain areas I bet it's really high. But are you telling me that in jolly old England, people don't think for themselves? Yeah, the 10% refuse to be. They refuse. Now, my question is this. In a satirical manner, let me pose the question. Why does everyone or anyone have to be locked down at all? Aren't the juicy vaxxed? Aren't they medically cured through the miracle of science? right? The magic of modern science and the magic of modern medicine have come together because Dr. Faucet, you know, the little drip. Yeah, the little drip. They've cured us. I remember hearing that it works. I remember hearing that the Jim Jones juice means you won't go to the hospital, that you won't get sick, that you won't die, that everything will be better, that you won't have to wear masks, that you won't have to be locked down. And they're threatening to lock everyone down again, fully, because they want those who have become medical experiments to hate everyone else who refuse to surrender their rights, their dignity, and their health to a bunch of fucking tyrants. I mean, seriously, isn't it unbelievable where they're going with this, folks? The whole world is full of absolute abject morons. Morons everywhere. Folks, get this. There are now TikTok moderators. They're actually subcontractors for another company. But TikTok moderators are suing because they've been traumatized psychologically by the content that they're moderating, right? There's a proposed, it's only a proposed, and it's a class action lawsuit. Guess where? In California, right? The Central District Court, right? This one plaintiff, Candy Frazier, says she spent 12 hours a day moderating videos. That's a lot of hours in a day, right? For a third-party contracting firm named TELUS. Okay, but she's a moderator for TikTok, working for a company called TELUS, right? She says she witnessed, quote, thousands of acts of extreme and graphic violence, end quote, right? And that was to include, folks, get this, mass shootings, child rape, animal mutilation, cannibalism, gang murder, and genocide. She's been traumatized because she witnessed all that. Now, you know, I've got a few questions. No, let's do some bullet points. Number one, don't hire the workers who have the mental capacity of a child to do adult work. Moderating to remove traumatizing content is adult work, not for children. And I don't believe that anyone else posts that kind of content to TikTok for obvious reasons, right? Like law enforcement and FBI would and should be knocking on the doors of those who post content like mass shootings, cannibalism, gang murder, genocide, child rape. I mean, really, who would post that on TikTok? It's obscene. The idea that that is even there is in and of itself obscene that anyone would post that. Here's number three. Quit the job day one if it's that graphic and it bothers you. Number four, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this lawsuit. Number five, it's a right-wing conspiracy of parents who upload that content because they're domestic terrorists. There's your solution. Let's blame Republicans for this. And number six, I'm not buying it. But this is the world we live in. It's absolutely asinine and stupid. If I had that job, folks, me, John, adult male, I wouldn't keep that job moderating that kind of shit. And they made all kinds of claims like we watch up to 25 videos at one time or 10 videos at one time. How do you do that? How do you moderate a video? By flashing that many in front of you? Now, what's amazing though, after all of that, this person is putting up with mass shootings and cannibalism and genocide. Really? They film genocide? Gang murder and animal mutilation and also patriots. They removed my videos. In fact, they removed the entire Prepared Mind channel off of TikTok. YouTube allows me, but TikTok, I mean, they've got this other content, right? Mass shootings, cannibalism, murder and genocide, mutilation, child abuse. Somehow they found the time to come after me for making jokes about Dr. Doom, President Gigi, 90 Proof Nancy, and every other left-wing idiot on the planet. Unbelievable, folks. But this is the world we're in, and they're coming for us. Love it. Right. By the way, Mr. T is coming up with more new and exciting intros. So when I play the little thing, the disclaimer, there's other disclaimers out there, folks. It's just, it has to be done, and it pisses me off. But, you know, we have to make sure we set the context for the content. You want some context for some content? Among their fall, the Biden and Camel Toes Harris administration, as they descend into the lowest levels of approval ever. Remember, I mean, Dick Cheney was hated. Dick Cheney, Vice President of the United States under George W. Bush, that guy was so hated by the left. They despised him. He was not popular, folks. He shot someone in the face while hunting. He shot him with a fucking shotgun. That guy, his approval numbers are higher than Kamala Harris. So trying not to be irrelevant, right? She was asked a question about Russia, and she said, well, I'm not allowed to discuss, that information that's super secret, whatever she said, right? But she was asked again. And rather than say it's top secret, it's confidential, she came out and said, we are having direct conversations with Russia. Yada, 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 a bunch of other bullshit, territorial integrity. And then she finished by saying this, quote, we are working with our allies in that regard, and we have been very clear that we are prepared to issue sanctions like you've not seen before. So Camel Toes is going to scare Vladimir Putin, the man who took over a communist nation, a communist nuclear weaponized superpower that was in economic and social ruin. She's going to scare that guy, Vladimir Putin, with the threat of the world's biggest sanction ever seen, right? Bullshit. This administration is failing, folks, as they bring America down, as they shit all over the Constitution, as they destroy our world and introduce more and more SHTF scenarios. And they're piled up, folks. They're piled up. Are you prepared? They're going to take the time to try and go after Putin. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, meanwhile, I like calling him Dr. Faucet, the little drip. Dr. Faucet, the little drip, goes on TV. You know, and I want to preface this first. Well, not only as a satire, but I want to preface this with some things that were said at the beginning of Cerveza Bug Hysteria. Didn't Dr. Faucet, the little drip, didn't that little fucker claim that masks aren't needed or useful, effective? At the very beginning of Cerveza Hysteria, did he not say that? Just a question. And didn't he then say that they are needed and we better get them and it becomes mandated? He said they were ineffective, and then everything changed, right? But nothing did change in the actual results. Comparing masks and lockdown states to unmasked, unlockdown states, the numbers came out the same. Did they not? Just asking for a friend. Folks, here's what he said. Quote, we want to make sure people keep their masks on. I think the idea of taking masks off, in my mind, is really not something we should even be considering. I think the idea of taking masks off, in my mind, is really not something we should even be considering when talking about masks on airplanes. You see, they don't want to give up their control. Even though in the beginning he was totally against it. Then he was like, oh, I see the value of screwing with people's heads. I see the value of psychologically damaging people. I see the value of making people sicker. Is that what Dr. Faucet, the little drip, said? Right? He's the little drip that could, can, and has, and will continue to fuck with our lives, folks. Unbelievable. And it's not over. It has just begun, folks. Welcome back. It's SHTF all over us. I talk often about my state, my beloved Texas. And I talk often about Florida. And I talk often about the South. But even free states have their communists, folks. They're social fascist, communist little bitches. Beware. In San Antonio, Texas, Mayor Ron Nierenberg, he's going to transform San Antonio, the Alamo City. You bet he's following the playbook, folks, the same way they're following it in San Francisco, LA, same way they're following it in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, New York City, Baltimore, the same way they're following it in Chicago, folks. Chicago, you bet. Seattle, Portland, all of these commies, folks. But the important thing here is this is in Texas. There are cities in Texas, folks, just like there's an area in Florida called Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Miami-Dade County, where it's full of these left-wing bastards, and they're going to try and fuck things up. That's their mission in life, is to make everyone equally suffer. So yeah, you bet. Everyone equally poor, everyone equally stupid, everyone equally juicinated. That's their goal. You know, no, but it was the no child left behind in education. Now it's no health left in good standing. Unbelievable. I'm going to give you an example, folks, of what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you a good example. Here it is. Here is a good example. And Mr. Skylight, I want to thank you for all you do. But back to the little commie weirdos. In Chicago, there were 22 shootings. Freak Show Mayor, her name is Lori Lightfoot, commonly referred to as, I think, Larry, Beetlejuice. Over Christmas weekend, folks, 22 shootings occurred. But don't worry, she was on the job. She was focused on her Kwanzaa message. She was not paying any attention to the bouncing checks the city wrote, or to the murders, or the home invasions, or the business looting. Way to go, biatch. Folks, that's what San Antonio has in store for it. You want to keep a communist as your mayor? A communist city council? A communist school board? You want to keep them in? You want to keep anyone as a Democrat? Anyone who isn't hardcore, patriotic, pro-Constitution. If you get some Republican out there who's like, you know, I'm kind of for law and order, and I'm a Republican, by golly, in the spirit of George Bush. You know, I'm a Republican, so you can trust me. No. No rhinos. Rhinos are done. But folks, this is what's coming to. They want to destroy everything, and they're doing it faster than ever. And they can't have any response. They can't have anyone, folks, anyone call them out on it. That's what the mainstream media is there for, is to stop us. They're there to stop us. And the only thing we can do is crack jokes. Cracking jokes. I love it. You know, speaking of crack, well, I can't speak of crack because I would be in trouble for talking about drugs if I talked about crack. Anyways, let's talk about NASCAR. There's a driver named Brandon Brown, and he's the one who Let's Go Brandon was started over. He won a NASCAR race, and the fans in the stands were shouting, "Fuck Joe Biden," repeatedly, loudly, as Brandon was being interviewed on the track, where he was probably standing on a crack. And the I don't know, interviewer, the sports interviewer lady was standing there. I think she was wearing like one of those driver suits in case, you know, gasoline fire or something. She was looking the part. She kept saying, listen to that crowd saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Anyways, that's where Let's Go Brandon came from. Anyways, Brandon Brown of Let's Go Brandon fame. He is now having difficulty finding sponsors for his race team. You know what? Fuck NASCAR. I say we all continue to boycott even more. Folks, even if you're tempted, boycott NASCAR, period. If they want to have Mr. Garage Noose as their fucking hero, if they want to support Marxist race teams, but they won't support a guy who won a race and a news network lied, made up some bullshit on the track, and now he's suffering. That's what they think of you NASCAR drivers. That's what they think of you Americans. That's what they think of you parents. That's what they think of you patriots. That's what they think of constitutional veterans who love their country and take their oath seriously. That's what they think of oath keepers in the police department, the sheriff's department, the fire department, and EMTs and other first responders. That's what they think of us, folks. We get the big middle finger. Well, fuck you, NASCAR, mainstream media. Let's go, Brandon. Unbelievable, folks. Wait till they ban that. Wait till they say, you guys aren't allowed to say let's go, Brandon anymore on YouTube. I bet it's coming. I bet it's coming. Folks, remember, over Christmas, Joe Biden sat down and was talking to Americans. You betcha. And he got trolled, right? This father, that's right, a father, folks, he must be a domestic terrorist, according to Merrick Garland, Attorney General for the United States government, which lives in Washington, D.C., a little tiny chuck of shit dirt called the swamp. I think it's of his Turdville. Washington, D.C., Turdville, where they arrest you and throw you in prison and don't give you a trial by jury, a quick and speedy trial, or accept that you have any rights. I tell you what, fuck that and fuck them, as far as I'm concerned. Folks, they said you are the enemy if you're a parent. So this parent says, well, to Emperor Gigi Biden, to his ear, I'm sure if he was standing face to face, he'd have done the same. He said, let's go, Brandon, right? He went on the War Room show with Steve Bannon and said, hey, Trump is my president. Folks, we need to understand, Trump is not perfect. We need to understand Democrats are our enemies. They're the enemies of us as parents, of us as Americans, of us as taxpayers, of us as free people. Democrats are the enemy of all. And there was a question that was passed on to me from Jolene. I can't remember who the questioner was. Asked about the Steve Bannon War Room crypto coin. Would I buy them? And the answer is no. No cryptos for me. Right? Anything the Federal Reserve can outlaw or destroy or says is contraband, a fake currency, I'm not going to get involved in it. Whether it's a speculative investment or something else, if I were to invest in something real, right, it's going to be real. It would be silver coins if I could afford to invest in that kind of stuff. Have you seen the price of silver? It's not cheap. And I'm sure it's going to go up. Now remember, and this is important, down in Venezuela, their currency crashed 5 years ago. They went into hyperinflation. Their bolivar, which is their version of the dollar, their bolivar went from one of those buying a cup of coffee to taking 1 million of them to buy a cup of coffee. Imagine if it took $1 million to buy a cup of Starbucks coffee or Dunkin' Donuts coffee or Pete's coffee or any cup of coffee for that fucking matter. Imagine if a K-cup for your little coffee maker was $1 million. Well, down in Venezuela, an ounce of silver supposedly would buy you several months worth of food, right? I can think of an investment, and it won't be in a cryptocurrency which can be shut down on the internet, taxed, tracked, followed, and outlawed. Not going to do it. Even if the idea is to support freedom and liberty, how free are you? What kind of liberty do you have when the Federal Reserve can pronounce that crypto coin non-negotiable, illegal? Unbelievable. Now, this is big, important news of the day. Big, important news of the day. This is a prepared mind, a TPM WTF update. Joe Biden leaves his Delaware beach house. Is that where he filmed his stage set, pretending to be in the White House? Joe Biden leaves his Delaware beach house after telling governors, folks, wait for it. He told governors there is no federal solution to the cerveza bug problem. FJB, LGB, right? He says, this is a quote of Biden. Look, there is no federal solution to COVID. This gets solved at a state level. Now, basically, Biden admitted that he hasn't done any good, that he can't fix it, that he has no authority. What they're trying to do is put this onto the states now. But before we get to that, so all of these federal mandates have been a lie. They've been a ruse. They've been a bluff. It's false. How many people have been fired, folks? How many people have lost their lives, their jobs, their homes, their families, their businesses over this absolute nonsense of an attempt at federal fist ramming us in the asses? Did Biden, Dr. Little Drip Faucet, and the Davos douches, did they just get enough humans jabbed with the Jim Jones juice to be satisfied so they can sit back? You think this is over, folks. It isn't. I wanted to give you that news. And again, I'll talk about stuff out there, but I've got a unique perspective. They're not giving up. They're not quitting. They're now putting this into the states. So if you're in a free state like Texas, if you're in a free state like Tennessee, if you're in a free state like Missouri, if you're in a free state like Florida or the Carolinas, you better be calling your state representatives and your governor and saying, don't you fucking think you're going to mandate at the state level, we're going to take that shit. Because, folks, the Jim Jones juice, it is still an experimental pharmaceutical. It is. It's still experimental. Are you going to take it because your governor says so? Well, I'm not going to take it when the president, nor would I take it when any governor says so.
Hey folks, at the Prepared Mind channel, we take your health very seriously. That's why we recommend the Jim Jones juice. That's right, the Jim Jones juice. Get yourself a can today.
Just the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality. Not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day, all the year around. No matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in.
There's nothing like hitting the Jim Jones juice, laying one down, and feeling that stuff enter your bloodstream. Oh.
Did Bill leave his pop and candy only half eaten? No, sir.
Oh, heart attack. Defibrillator. Clot. Don't forget, call an ambulance when you get your Jim Jones juice, because it's that good.
Yeah, it's all satire, you little snowflakes. Get this, folks. They're not going to give up. They're not going to go away. Dr. Faucet, the little drip, saying masks forever. We need them on planes. Don't even think of getting rid of them. But Biden's saying, hey, I can't do anything about it. I'm a loser. They're going to put it on governors. Now, folks, I don't care if it's President Trump, who tried saying Jim Jones juice, and everyone booed him. He's booed. I don't care who the messenger is, how much they're beloved. I wouldn't give a shit, folks, if Governor Abbott or Governor Costello or Governor DeSantis, it doesn't matter how much I respect them politically. Medically, you don't get to make decisions for me. You can have a medical opinion. You can be right, Governor, but you still don't get to tell me what to do, folks. But they don't care how much has been destroyed, how many lives have been lost. And it is damaging our country. And shit has hit the fan, and it's going to get worse. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be other issues. There's going to be hack jobs. There's going to be economic chaos. There's going to be fuel issues. There's going to be energy issues. They've already told us a lot of people are going to die this winter. They've already said it's going to be a long, cold winter. They've already promised everything they can. Everything they can, they promised how difficult it's going to be. They've lost their patience. Screw your freedoms.
and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
There comes a time when you do have to give up what you consider your individual right of making your own decision.
No way. I don't see Governor Schwarzenegger, right, from California. Sorry, even the governor doesn't have the right to violate anyone's rights. The state government, folks, is bound by the exact same constitution that the federal government is bound by. It has the same provisions. The same republic is set up. Every state is an individual, free, constitutional republic. The nation is built of republic states. Each state is and of itself a republic with an individual state-by-state Bill of Rights that mirrors the federal Bill of Rights. They're based on common law, these constitutions, even though the states have passed Roman civil law known as statute law. It's actually, they're supposed to be constitutional republics. The same rules apply to a federal government that they do to a state, and that's that tyranny is not to be tolerated or supported. And the Declaration of Independence applies to not only a federal authority, but a state or a local authority as well. Tyranny is tyranny, folks, and it knows no bounds. Dr. Faucet, Dr. Doom, the little drip, he is not a federal official or a state official. He is an appointed bureaucrat. He is not an elected official. And I hate using the word official because it makes them officially sound official. Sorry, you little bastards, you're not. You're not. And especially that little bastard. He is not God. And there does not come a time when I give up to either a president or a governor or anyone my right to make individual choices. That is a lie. It's a lie. Don't you go to hell if you lie? Don't you go to hell if you lie and you're not sorry about it? I don't know. There's some rules in there about faith and belief and stuff, but it seems like Fauci has appointed himself as the spokesman for science, and science is truth. Science is truth. That's right, folks. And Dr. Fauci says, quote, you should just stay away. Americans need to cancel their New Year's Eve plans, folks. Why? Why? Tell us. Please, Dr. Faucet, tell us why. Well, he told them because of the unicorn variant, folks, and the top 5 symptoms. According to Gateway Pundit, the top 5 symptoms of the unicorn variant are runny nose, headache, fatigue, sneezing, and sore throat. Well, thank you, Dr. Fauci, for letting us know what those symptoms are. And there's a medicine out there called NyQuil, and this is what their commercial used to say. It's the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine. But you don't want to get that shit. So just cancel your entire social life. No fun for you, folks. And I want to remind you that when you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, like you're a bureaucrat, elected scumbag, you tell the people what you want them to hear, what they want to hear. Anyways, unbelievable. It's that kind of world. Oh, shoot, I've gone long. No one, Jolene didn't put anything up. Yeah, it's time. It's time for the Q&A. Let's get to it.
Are you ready?
I've told you guys before, I get carried away. I could talk for hours and hours about news. I could talk for hours and hours on the news as it appears. I could be on here 8 hours a day, just watching a news feed and commenting on it. Unbelievable. We got Oregon Patriot checking in, and he says this: the fact the left is fighting to eliminate dissenting ideas and comments should be enough to wake the sheep up. But those people are brainwashed and prefer to stay inside their bubble because stepping outside will force them to see their own stupidity. Yeah. The truth. You've heard the saying, truth hurts, right? Why are the political leftists so butthurt over us telling them to go, let's go Brandon? Fuck Joe Biden. Why is it that people aren't allowed to say Trump won? Why is it that we're not allowed to speak anything? Well, because truth matters, and people know the truth when they hear it. Those who don't want to hear it, right? They ask to be told something else. They they won't hear it. They're in their sheep pen over here. They put themselves there. They're happy there. Government's going to protect them. Government will tell them what they need to hear. The mainstream media will make sure that they repeat it all day long. You bet. You bet. They don't want to hear it, folks. Go ahead and ask them questions. Well, aren't you fully juicinated? Why are you worried about me? Because you could give it to someone else. Give what? Sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever symptoms? I could give that to someone else? I mean, the way we've been dealing with it for the last 20,000 years. Well, we can't have that. We gave it a name. It's the unicorn virus. Oh, now I'm scared. Why don't we call it the Jeffrey Dahmer virus? And it makes you think about cannibalism. Well, by calling it Jeffrey Dahmer, you think about cannibalism. It's the Jeffrey Dahmer virus, and you have sniffling, sneezing, coffee head. Yeah, oh shit. And I have to think about Jeffrey Dahmer's cannibalism. So now I'm going to be a cannibal because I got the cannibalism Jeffrey Dahmer virus? Well, if you're an idiot sheep, yes. If you're a thinking human, you're like, hold the presses, literally. Stop right there. All right, let's move on, though. Let's change subjects. Right, all righty then. Latin American Preparedness says Trump wants to pump the Jim Jones juice. He said we have 3 excellent Jim Jones juices to choose from. Operation Warp Speed, and everyone should get it. The hotels and casinos of Trump require Jim Jones juice. Should we support another candidate? I'm going to tell you what. You support who you think you should. I have no idea why President Trump thinks Jim Jones juice is a good idea. Other than he put his name on it with Operation Warp Speed. I'm sure he's aware that there's problems. I'm not going to make excuses for the man. It's his choice. If he wants to say that, fine. Where I get into trouble with him is, does he think he has the authority to tell me what to do? Does he have the authority to coerce people into taking it? Right? Under threat of, we're going to fire you. I think that's a violation of employment rights, workers' rights, American constitutional rights. I don't think that an employer can deny you work over something that is a private medical concern, right? I think that any business, including Trump's, that requires that ought to be fully sued until they all stop it. That's just my opinion. As far as his political candidacy, I hate saying vote for him because he's the best choice we have, right? We've been doing that our whole lives. And it has invariably led to the point where there isn't any other decent choice, period. right? It's like, well, just the lesser of two evils, the lesser of two evils, the lesser of two evils, the lesser of two evils. Well, we've gotten evil the whole way. Is Trump evil? Some people think he's the savior. Some people think he's our best bet to getting the republic back. Other people think that he's a shill, a sellout, right? That he's evil light, just 1 calorie, not evil enough, right? Dr. Evil there. Maybe Trump believes in vaccines. Maybe he doesn't think that the people that are pushing this are evil. People are entitled to their opinions. People are not entitled to act authoritatively to the detriment and damage of others. There's a big difference between having an opinion and violating someone's rights. Trump can have an opinion. Jim Jones Juice, you got 3 great choices. Oh, really? I'll fucking pass. Right? Mandate it to me, and we're going to have some fighting words. Would I rather see another candidate run for office in 2024? I would rather see someone who is more constitutional, more freedom-minded, who shouts about liberty at the top of his lungs, who wants America and Americans to be free of communism, socialism, big government, whatever you want to call it. I want that candidate to run and say, no more bullshit. The Constitution comes first. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. Free speech means free speech. Just because a cop has an opinion that he doesn't like you doesn't mean he now gets to arrest and detain you because he has reasonable suspicion. There needs to be real crimes being committed before you are arrested and have your life destroyed because someone with a badge is having a bad hair day. Right? We've got a lot of problems in this country, in other words, folks. What's the priority? What's the priority? Is the priority at the top, getting rid of communists in DC? Is the priority at the local level? Is it shared at all levels? I think it's shared at all levels, and to be honest, to be frank. Will President Trump do a good job? Well, he'll do a good job being stonewalled, shit on, screwed with. I think Washington, D.C. is a lost fucking cause. Right? Not because the president isn't a good person, but because Congress is full of communists, because the bureaucracy is full of communists, because the Supreme Court is full of compromised, sellout pieces of shit. I think Justices Alito and Thomas are the only 2 who both have a brain and are willing to use it and have a conscience and are willing to employ it. Let us move on. We got a statement from Jay Clifton. He says, John, it used to be, get to the chopper. Now it's get under the chopper, you you turd. Get under the chopper, you turd. Yeah, get to the chopper. That was Schwarzenegger's line from the movie Predator. Now I would say to Arnold, hey, go jump in the chopper's blades. Shut up. Yeah, I love it. Tom R. says, I was at my work Christmas party. About 1,000 people in Vegas. We've been hearing from Vegas people lately. He says this, had the CFO of the company assume I was juiced. He spoke to me and said that all unjuiced people should die. CFO is Chief Financial Officer, basically the head accountant. And if there are 1,000 employees at this Christmas party, there's somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 employees total in this company. It's a good sized company. I wonder if it's a casino. I wonder if it's a large resort. Back to the thing. He says, my wife's grandson was over visiting and also said that all unjuiced are pieces of shit and need to die. The hate is real. It is, folks. It is. The hate is real. These people want us to die. Interestingly, they're the ones who took the fucking poison. Right? What a bunch of dumbasses. But they want you to die as well. And that's why they want you to take the juice. Once again, yeah, I've got to have my little caveats. I got to make sure the context is right. So if any snowflakes show up, they've gotten fair warning. It's all satire. It's a joke. You need to lighten the fuck up or move along, you little melting bastards. Folks, they hate us. They really do. Now, over Christmas, I spent time with a very close, personal, dear friend, and we watched The Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, right? In Finland, the people are known as Finnish, like Sweden has the Swedish, Norwegian have Norwegians. Finland has the Finnish. Well, in Finland, churches were requiring proof of being fully juicinated. That's right. You had to have your passport, your juicination passport, to enter their Christmas concerts. So those who were unjuiced, those pure blood Finns, stood outside the church and sang their own Christmas songs. It reminds me of Whoville after the Grinch Stole Christmas, where they're like, we don't need all of your stinking presents. We don't need your trappings and your bullshit. We don't need you at all. We are self-reliant. We have our faith, our belief systems. So these Finns stood outside and sang their own Christmas songs, right? Think of these Democrats as the Grinches who stole our fucking republic, and they're doing it. And they want us dead, though. The Grinch just stole Christmas. The Grinch in the story by Dr. Seuss. Oh, yeah, Dr. Seuss, who has been canceled. His books, which have been around for generations, have been taken out of schools because some snowflakes got their butt all in a clinch. Yeah, I can't take it. Dr. Seuss is evil, right? He wrote he wrote The Grinch Steals Christmas. Democrats want to steal everything, your money, your wealth, your life, your job, your free will. They want to steal everything. They're making America. They want to steal America. And that is how and why shit has hit the fan, folks. And they're not going to give up. They want you dead. The Grinch wasn't a murderer, folks. These people want you dead. It doesn't matter whether it's little Johnny on the fucking street or a CEO, CFO, COO of a major corporation. They want us dead. Yet, ironically, and it is irony, which I mix with my satire, and irony is a formal type of humor. Well, at least to some people it's humorous. The irony is the vaxxed are the ones who have taken an experimental concoction. And if they die, folks, it will make shit hitting the fan worse. Even if, folks, every strong, firm, patriotic American said, not taking it, and we don't, and we live, and 50% or 20% or 10% of those who took the Jim Jones juice keel the fuck over in the next 2 years, that will make things worse. It won't change anything. They're going to be equally mad. They'll be scared. They will say, you stupid unvaxxed jerks, you need to die too, right? That's the irony, folks. They took actual, what I consider to be Jim Jones juice poison. All right, we got Bonnie Blue 2-way, and Bonnie, thank you again for all you do as well. She asked this: why would the evil Dr. Faucet, the little drip, why would the good doctor push for juice mandates for domestic flights as 2-pill treatments have recently gained FDA approval? Is this the link to the 5G rollout and juice reel? They do now have the oral version of the Jim Jones juice, but they're calling it a treatment to treat the symptoms. I don't know enough about it to say that it has the exact same effect, that it is a gene therapy pill. I don't know that. they're not pushing it as hard as they're continuing to push the Jim Jones juice. I am not going to take the pill either. I have a feeling it's not as effective in the negative ways as they would like. They're claiming it's effective, though, and making your sniffles and sneezes go away. I'm pretty sure that horses like horse dewormer paste pretty good, too. But, you know, back to the pills. They're going to push everything they can. I'm sure there are little scientists right now in their labs coming up with more effective ways to make the pills do their dirty work and kill the bad things. Okay. I believe that they're going to continue to push the injectables because they are more effective. I think what they're trying to do is get people to stop asking for their horses to have horse paste. And instead, if you're in a hospital, we'll just ask for the Jim Jones juice tablets, so that no matter what, you're getting what they want to put in you, not what you want to put in you. As far as this whole thing for domestic flights, he doesn't want to give up anything, folks. He can't come in your house and make you put on a mask. He would if he could. Biden is losing in the courts so badly. It is so plainly evident that it's unconstitutional. Not only to mandate any human, but to mandate federal employees or the military. It is a violation of human rights. It is a violation of international and national law. And I think that's why Biden is giving up on it and saying, this is a state matter now. Now, again, I don't know if they're giving up all the way or if they're going to release the Kraken on us. If they're going to release some nasty bug, a real nasty bug, and say, well, there it is. We knew this was going to happen. We knew there would be an ominous version that would show up that would just knock everyone over. We warned you. You should have been juicinated, but people wouldn't listen. And so this is what happens. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do next. I expect everything, folks. I have gas masks, NBC. I have civilian mop gear. At least I think it's mop gear. I don't know. I mean, mop, is that military only? Anyways, I have everything that I need to get through and by and around and past this shit. I have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. I have a bunker. Do you? Folks, I know people out in the swamps, out in the country, out in the hills that are equally prepared for this to get really fucking ugly really fast. Is President Biden, is he going to come after us the way that we would expect our enemies to come after us? You know, face to face and say, we're your enemy, we're here to fuck you over? Or are they going to continue to hide behind bugs and regulations and hide behind medical guidance as they destroy and tear down our republic? Any way you look at it, folks, it's SHTF. Welcome back from the holidays. I mean, literally, welcome back. Turn your brains on, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind. Moving on, we got Yankee Watchdog says, question for John, do you have a link for the new t-shirts? Oh, God, totally blew my mind. Okay, here's the deal. I called and said, hey, t-shirts are ready, right? No one answered the phone. I said, how can I have anyone go by and pick them up and start distributing them if they're not ready? You said they were ready. They're ready. No one showed up to work today. I guess it was a cerveza bug call-in sick day at the print shop. So I have no t-shirts to show you because I don't have any t-shirts to sell. They're coming, though. The very second someone cracks that door on that store, there will be a prepared mind runner there to pick everything up. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. I've been waiting through the whole holiday season, the whole Christmas break, because I want to have those shirts. The fuck around and find out shirts are awesome. They're just awesome. It's a great design. I love it. I can't wait to get it out there. And as soon as I have it, As soon as I have it, I will show them to you, and then I'll tell you how to do it. The way it's going to be is we're going to use PayPal. It's going to be a $25 shirt. You put your name and your shipping address on there. You tell us what size you prefer and what color you prefer, sizes and colors, and then your second favorite color. And we'll try and get you the colors you want and the sizes you want. And it's a very, very limited supply. There will only be 48 shirts total. That's it. In 4 colors and 2 sizes, large and extra large. That's it. And then we'll do, if it's a successful and we sell all of them, if it's successful and only if it's successful, will we do a second run of a new design? And I would love to do a monthly t-shirt. I would love to sell them out and then make another 48 shirts for the next month. Whole different design, Prepared Mind logo on the front, nice phrase on the back, like "Let's go Brandon." Maybe that'll be next. For now, it's fuck around and find out. But we have many more ideas. In fact, at the R Syndicate, I threw an idea out there earlier today for the next one, if and only if it is a successful campaign. Once again, the campaign is to spread the word and get people talking. If you wear that shirt, people are going to comment. People will think. People will share. People need to speak up. It's very important, in my opinion, that people start speaking. Now, the leftist screwballs, they have no problem speaking, folks. They say it 100 different ways. I want you to guess this lady's politics. She was smiling in her mugshot. That's right, she was arrested, and her picture, she's smiling. Like she's taking her senior portrait and she's graduating high school. What was she arrested for, you asked? She killed her boyfriend with a sword on Christmas Eve. Was arrested, put in an orange jumpsuit, and smiled for the camera. Thanks. Guess her politics. Go ahead and guess. It's that simple, folks. They tell us who they are all the time. We need to start telling them who we are. The next t-shirt that comes out after the fuck around and find out, it could be about masks and train cars and staying at important hotels like the Auschwitz. Or it could be about something else, right? Like, do you want me dead? Who knows, folks? Who knows? But the shirts are coming. Like I said, as soon as they answer the phone, I will have someone at that door to pick them up. They will rush deliver some to me. It may take 5-6 hours of driving, but they'll get them to me. And I'll show them on the channel. But that's how we'll do it. It's going to be $25, PayPal, name and address, color and size that you prefer. And if you can't get the color and that size, would you prefer color or prefer the size first? Something like that. It's going to be fun, though. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. They're going to be great shirts, and they're printed in America by an American company that hires Americans to do the work. It's all good stuff. I tell you. Welcome back. It is shit hitting the fan, folks. It is. It is all over us. New York Times editor, folks. New York Times editor boasting about getting his Jim Jones booster. Dies of a heart attack the next day. How is this not major news? In last night's broadcast, I talked about the 3-year-old girl down in Argentina. 3-year-old girl. Parents took her and got her the Jim Jones Jack 'em Up juice. Dead. Children are not supposed to die of heart attacks, folks. They didn't die of heart attacks in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. And somehow, folks, somehow they want us to believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and Dr. Doom. Somehow they want us to believe that these people care about us, that they have our best interests at heart, that they really give a shit about America as they tear it down and allow criminals to run wild in cities while they call parents of school children domestic terrorists. This is not a fucking sick joke. This is not a movie. This is not a bad dream. This is America today. And I'm really wondering, folks, if the ghosts of all the dead presidents from Reagan backwards are haunting the halls of the White House to the extent that no humans can be in there without hearing it and being scared to death. I hope it's the ghost of every patriot that fought and died for this country that is haunting them right now. It's just crying out from the graves to those who hear and to heaven, right? Their sorrow, their regret, their anger over what is being done to our great nation, being done to the people. Right? There's good people out there, folks. There are good people, good Americans, and you're amongst them. We're all suffering, waiting for this to go to the next level. There are levels of SHTF, folks, and at the very top is Mad Max. Hook or by crook, they're going to take us there. They're going to lie, they're going to cheat, they're going to steal, they're going to hide the truth from you. They're going to muddle the facts. They're going to push for their agenda, and they're not going to quit. Joe Biden is pretending to quit, saying, it's up to the states. Well, that means that in every state where there's a Democrat governor and a Democrat legislature, they're going to push for it, folks. This is a fight to the end at this point. It has now begun. Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Do you have a plan? Are you ready? And you have to ask yourself this question. Aren't you glad you're a prepper? And if you are, then you know the value of it, and you should be helping others realize where we're at. Send them the links to the videos, folks. Send them to the Prepared Mind channel. Share that with them so they can wake the hell up. Sheep may not like it. Those who are asleep may not want to wake up. But you're saving lives by doing it. Literally, when people wake up, they agree. You've saved their life. You've helped them. God bless you all. I'll see you bright and early. Chip, 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 chipper. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi.